Welcome to Veranda Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm so happy you decided to join. I'm Christine Mills. Today we're going to talk about something that is really near and dear to my heart, and it's how to write your first book, or any book for that matter. This topic comes in a time when I just finished another book, my third book. I just finished it, sending it to the editors, and I'm on that high of I just finished running a marathon. And why would I talk about this on an entrepreneurship podcast? I'm so happy you asked. I think that every entrepreneur should try to write a book because you have your own story. And I think everyone has to hear your story. And I think it's a great platform to use while you're growing your business. And it's almost like a business card that people don't throw away. Think about business cards. A lot of times when you get a business card, you may or may not keep it unless if it's really interesting. And even that, you might not keep it. But a book, not too many of us actually throw away a book. So I'm going to give you 5 steps to make sure that you write your book this year. I think it's a great challenge for you, and it's totally doable, very doable. And for many of us who are right now quarantined due to the coronavirus, I think it's a really great time to even hunker down and try to bang out that first draft. So just a little bit about my backstory about the writing and publishing world. I wrote and published my first book when I was 25 years old. And my second book, some years later, I'm not going to tell you how many years later, but put it this way, I published it 2 years ago. But I have been doing a lot of writing, but I said, you know what, I'm putting it out in the world, and it's going well. People are reading it. People are buying the books. It's called Young, Gifted, and Black, Quarter Life. And it's a part of a series, and it's fun. So the second book is Young, Gifted, and Black, is a midlife crisis, and it's fun following these characters as they get older and having them go through their own pains and struggle. And I will be writing a business book very soon, so I'm very excited. I will always write fiction, and now I'm starting to write nonfiction, but I want you to know different ways you could write your own book. So as much as I love birthing a story, I still struggle with the same issues a lot of writers struggle with from time to time. I always say every writer, no matter who you are, the Toni Morrisons of the world, the Malcolm Gladwell, they always start with a blank sheet of paper. Every writer starts with a blank sheet of paper. So if you have a blank sheet of paper in front of you, you are in the same boat as all writers. So that should make you feel a lot better. And we all struggle with feelings of inadequacies, time constraints, and juggling hectic schedules. However, with these 5 tips, you will be able to complete your first or 5th book within a short time frame. So 1, have a strict deadline and stick to it. We have all met people or have been that person, guilty as charged, including myself, who we may say they are going to do something and it never gets done. It never gets done because they didn't respect their deadline. It never gets done because they did not respect their deadline. I find that I work better when I have a short deadline. If you have a short deadline, you are more likely to get what you need done within a short period of time. Think about it. Have you ever heard someone say, if you want something done, ask a busy person? I have found that the more busier I am, the more I get stuff done. So you are more likely to get what you need done within a short period of time. It won't be hanging over your head, right? So you can go on to the next exciting project. So for me, I finished my book, and then I'm like, okay, now I could start on the other book, because I didn't want to have a lot of projects just like loose and, not neat and tidied and closed up. So it frees you up to do the next thing on your to-do list. So the first one is have a strict deadline and stick to it. You deserve it. You owe it to yourself to stick to your deadline to accomplish your goals. So 2, respect your goals. That's the second one. And this is very true. I find sometimes it's easier to meet other people's deadlines and not necessarily our own. Think about it. When we go to work, for those of us who are on a 9 to 5, we get our stuff done. But when it comes to things that are on our heart, we might not take it as seriously. Have you ever wondered the reason for that? Could it be that we don't take our dreams and goals seriously? Do we really believe that we can accomplish what we set our mind to do? Do we really believe it's possible? I want you to think about the times something has been laid on your heart to do, and we put everything before it. That's not fair to ourselves or to the people we could be serving. You can't make goals if you don't find them to be important. And when you think about the people who needs to read this book that you came up with, that's very important. So, number 1, have a strict deadline and stick to it. Number 2, respect your goals. And number 3, and this is a big one for a lot of us, do-it-yourselfers, enlist help. Writing a book is a huge undertaking, but it makes it a lot easier when you find people to help you. Help could be in the form of asking for help around the home or getting someone to edit your work when your manuscript is complete, which I'm doing right now. And the key is to look for any gaps and find the reasons why you may still fall short. So if you find that you're not able to finish your book or not be able to finish that first draft, could it be that you have too much on your plate? So you might want to just ask your partner, your children, your coworker, your friends to help you out. And you'll be surprised that most people will say yes. And if they don't, ask someone else. Number 4, and this is another big one. I keep saying this is a big one, but don't wait for the muse, right? Don't wait for the muse. I have heard people say that they need to create a retreat of some sort prior to actually buckling down to writing a book. Can I share something with you? And this is something that I have to really let you know, that I have written on trains on my way back and forth from work. I have written while helping my kids do their homework. I have written right before I go to bed. I have also written at Starbucks. All in all, you have to find time to write and not wait for the Spirit to move you. You have to find time to write and not wait for the Spirit to move you. Number 5, celebrate the small steps. Don't beat yourself up. If you are reading and your manuscript doesn't sound like a James Baldwin novel, don't beat yourself up. Remember, the hardest part is getting your initial thoughts and ideas on the paper. Write often, and eventually you will get better. I promise you. So let's recap over the 5 steps to finishing up that book this year. 1, have a strict deadline and stick to it. 2, respect your goals. 3, enlist help. 4, don't wait for the muse. And 5, celebrate the small steps. I'm so happy you joined me today. If you enjoy this episode and other Veranda Entrepreneur episodes, please be sure to subscribe and also share with a friend. That's the biggest gift you could give to me so other people can hear about this podcast. Have a great day and be blessed.